Hello everyone, we have another series preview to do. That is, of course, is the Avs taking on the Blues. Before we do that though, please make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel and you want to see more hockey content. So, let's get started. And to start off, we're going to do a very brief summary of both teams up to this point, and we'll talk about Colorado. In short, the Avs have been dominant again. The Mile High team finished with the second best record in the league with a 119-point season and very well could have won the President's Trophy had just a few things gone differently. In the end, it really doesn't matter though, as they could have won the trophy but are still very clearly a favorite to win it. The Stanley Cup, that is, as well as the President's Trophy. They could have won it, but of course the Cup is the bigger goal, and they showed that they are on their way to possibly doing so as they made quick work of the Nashville Predators in round one, where they swept the Tennessee team. As for the Blues, it's kind of a nice season for them. They finished third in the Central Division and beat the second place Minnesota Wild in 6 games. Now, what are some of the narratives/factors we should expect for this series? Well, the first thing to talk about, of course, is going to be whether or not this will be a better series than last year. The two teams met up in the first round of the 2021 season, and it was all Colorado as they swept the Blues on their way to the second round. In my opinion, it should theoretically be better this year than last year. Yes, some things are different for both sides, but a few storylines here that favor a better series would be the addition of Brendan Saad from the Avs to the Blues this offseason, and of course getting a guy like Pavel Buchnevich. On top of that, David Perron was not able to play in the series last year due to testing positive for COVID, and he had 27 goals on the season this year and 6 first-round goals against the Wild. So, why is this all a big deal here? Well, because they just have more opportunities. They have a deeper lineup, or a theoretically should be a better lineup than what we saw last season, which should make the series a little bit better for the Blues, and hopefully they can able to pull off an upset. So what are some other things we should focus on? Well, big thing for St. Louis will be their power play. It was a huge boost for them in the regular season, as they were second in the league for power play percentage, and that was at 26.97% and scored at an even higher rate in the first round against Minnesota at 30.77%. If the Blues can do that like they did in that first round now up against Avs, they're going to be in a much better position for this series, since they'll almost be guaranteed to probably be outplayed at full strength. But they're also going to have to really learn from what they saw last year, because last year the power play wasn't very effective. For starters, they only averaged 4.5 minutes on the man advantage, which is clearly not enough time, in my opinion, to make a significant impact on the series. They're also going to have to just be better in general while on the power play, because the Avs had a shorthanded goal in the series, and the Blues only scored 2 power play goals, so it was a 2-1 goal differential there, meaning it didn't work out so well for the Blues. And yes, Colorado is a great team, and they showed what they could do last year on the PK against the Blues, as they allowed the lowest high danger chance rate out of any team in the playoffs, while also limiting them to the bottom half of medium danger chances in that postseason. The Blues went 2 for 9 on the power play, which comes out to be 22.2%, which would have been 10th in the regular season last year. But of course, when you're not able to spend a lot of time on the power play, and you're not able to get a lot of even strength goals, you're probably going to need to score some goals here. Now, of course, the Blues might have to figure things out without the help of some of their blue liners. Well, really just one blue liner here is Torrey Krug. He has an injury status that is unknown at the moment, and that is a little bit worrisome because Krug played the most minutes by St. Louis defensemen when having a numerical advantage. And I will say he did benefit a lot from secondary assists in this case this season, but he is a guy that is a playmaker, is a guy that is a very beneficial player to have on your power play. His health is definitely going to be a big talking point for this series, as the Blues really need all hands on deck if they want to have their best chance at upsetting the Avs. Speaking of health, Darcy Kuemper is also in question thanks to an eye injury, but according to multiple sources, looks like he'll be good to go for Game 1 against St. Louis. I expect this to be a focal point, not just because of his eye, but what the Blues would do to possibly, not saying they would, maybe hurt his eye again. A team that's desperate, that needs to get an edge. Maybe a stick goes a little bit too high and tries to get up in there. We'll have to see. Either way, expect a big fight to happen if that does happen. But overall, the series does favor the Avs. We know that. They swept the Blues. They won 2 out of the 4 games that they played, I believe, this year. They might have just played 3. I could not find that 4th game on there, but this Blues team is deeper than last year's and should be able to put up a much better fight theoretically against a team they know quite a bit about. Now, having said all those things, I have to make a pick, and I am going to be picking the Colorado Avalanche in 6 games. I personally could see the series end even faster, as the odd makers have Avs winning in 5 as the most logical thing. You can see here from The Athletic, multiple sources do seem to think that's realistic. Personally, I think the Blues are going to have to rotate goalies between Husso and Binnington. And I don't know how that's going to work. Binnington was eaten alive last year in this series, although it wasn't entirely his fault. I'd expect more of the same because the Avs are so good. Berube and his team definitely on a bad group, and they've got forward depth, but Bednar's guys are good. They're on a mission, and I just think overall they're going to be in a better spot. Plus, Kemper is an upgrade in net for his team compared to last year and should be more likely to outchance the Blues. The Avs should, especially at full strength, and I imagine their power play would more than make up for however many goals the Blues would get on the man advantage. I'd also say Colorado is probably going to have a considerable lead in this series for offensive zone time, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, I really didn't get to talk a lot about the Avalanche in this series, but a big reason for this is A, the schedule is crazy trying to get all these videos out, and then B, we know how good they are and how they've just been dominant for some time now. The Blues have household names as well, and they're going to have to need those guys to play a little bit better and up to their potential if they're going to pull off the upset. But now it's time to hear who you'd pick, so make sure to comment down below who will win and in how many games. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to see more content from me. Also, I apologize just putting out so many videos. My voice seems to be on the fritz today, so just make sure to check at the end. I've got series previews as well as series reviews, and I will leave a spot for you to click on those series previews. So everyone stay safe, have a great night, and Eagle of Hockey, alright? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.